Hello, hello. Welcome to Tapping Tuesday. I'm sorry for the adjustments. I've got you in my lap today. You can tell I'm in a car. I'm out and about trying to make it the best angle possible. I'll do my intro here in just a second. Okay, I think that's as good as it's going to get. Hi. So I'm Amanda, if you don't know who I am, and welcome to Tapping Tuesday. If it is your first time, welcome. If it is not your first time, welcome back. What we do here is EFT, which is short for Emotional Freedom Techniques. Another name that you might know it better by is tapping. So when you see this, that's what we're doing here today. We have a channel dedicated to talking about EFT. It is EFT Universe here on YouTube. But we don't go into a lot of the science behind it, the validity behind it, all of the clinical testing, all of the really fascinating information during this hour right now. What we're going to do is jump right into the process so that you can experience it, or if you've already experienced it, so that you can deepen it. Maybe you get a new insight or understanding or permission of a different way to tap, or maybe just connecting with someone in the community and not feeling so alone in what it is that you're working to overcome or reach for. That's what we're here for today. So I'm so glad that you're here. I'm just going to give you a little bit more of information of how you can interact, and then we'll get right into the tapping. The way that you can make suggestions for what we tap on, we don't ever plan anything in advance. It's always just who shows up and what you have in front of you. So if you have like a pet peeve or a particular goal or a particular circumstance, whether it's past or present or something that you're concerned about in the future, all of that goes. You don't have to try and come up with something. And also, it doesn't have to be like your biggest thing. This is more for you to gain empowerment and confidence in, oh, I tried it and it worked. So definitely give yourself permission to do this incrementally, because it's not like this is your one and only chance. This is your opportunity to start to really flex and build your EFT muscles. You can drop suggestions in the live chat. I do check that throughout the tapping session and incorporate as many things as I can throughout the hour. If it feels too vulnerable for you to drop what you're specifically concerned about in front of the whole world, you can always email me, and then I will bring it up privately, anonymously is what I was looking for, the following tap. So the following week. You can also just email me with questions. Like, I'm just here to support you in your EFT journey. My email is in the chat already. I will speak it out loud. It is Amanda, AMANDA, at EFTuniverse.com. Alrighty. And as we tap, if you're familiar with tapping, the way that I lead it is a little bit different. I don't always stick to a perfect script. Part of that is because I want you to see the creativity. Part of it is just because that's how I typically do it. And every certified clinical practitioner in EFT is going to be a little bit different. And I also tend to stay on one spot. And I tend to stick on the hand, or sometimes I'll go to the chest. The reason I do that is because I don't want you to be distracted and trying to watch me to follow me. So I try to make myself as boring as possible, or so you can just follow auditorily, so that you can really dive into what you're feeling and what you're experiencing without worrying, oh no, am I keeping up? Do I need to change spots? But if you want to change, if you want to go through all of the tapping spots more than I am, please give yourself permission to do so. I want you to feel empowered to make this what you need. Changing my words, whatever that looks like, I want you to do it. So, and if you don't know or don't have confidence in doing that, then just follow along with me and you'll have a wonderful experience and you'll have more confidence in it by the end. So, alrighty, I'm going to say hi real fast and then we'll get grounded and we'll get going. Alrighty. Hi, Mama Hutch. I'm glad that you're here too. Hi, Zarina. Looking forward to the insights and transformation. Oh, yay. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Hi, Jane. Just watch the Don't Have to Worry singing. Who would have known you're a blues? Oh, you're so sweet. I would love to have a jazz voice. I don't feel like I do. I feel like I have more of like a choir voice. But oh, I love jazz music and I love singing jazz music. I would say that's a goal of mine that I'm casually working on, to have more confidence in that. I would love to like go sing it aloud at some time in my life. Hi, Dr. Scott. No, I am not currently driving, I promise. I am not that confident in my multitasking. I am sitting in a parking lot. You'll probably see people walking by, but I'm in an enclosed car, just waiting. There's a lot of things going on, and I scheduled an appointment at 2:00. So I had to drive to the parking lot of my appointment so that as soon as we're done, I can go and do that. So we're just on a field trip today. That's all. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get grounded. I don't have any emails from this last week from community members asking for support through email. So it's just whatever you've got going on that we can tap on for today. All right. So let's find a way to be present. Let's do the strings. I feel like that version works really well. So go ahead and take a breath. It doesn't have to be deep. Just breathe intentionally. And now become aware of how much of you is present in your body now. So how much of you is focusing outward on other things in the present moment? How much of you might be stuck in the past? And you don't have to get those specific numbers, but just how much of you is present in this moment in your body right now versus what's outward facing. And don't be alarmed if it's a low number. That's actually pretty common. We are creatures of multitasking. We are creatures of forward movement. So it's quite often that we're not present in our body, which is why we're doing it right now. So go ahead and get your number and just trust the first number that pops up. And let's go ahead and take another breath here. My number's really low. I'm present about 13%, which isn't surprising. It's because I'm out of my element doing it differently today. That sounds spot on. So now see little strings attached to these parts of you that are gone. So for me, that's what, 87%. So I've got lots of little strings. I've got so many things out in my future that are things that I'm thinking about, that I need to accomplish, that I need to put on my list for later in the week, all kind of forward facing out in front of me. So I see that 87% is still attached to me, it's still mine, but it's just out there. And so just become aware of where your little strings are, where all these little bits of you are that are just floating outward. And take another breath. And now send an invitation for all of the little pieces that are floating out on these strings to come and join you for right now. And it's okay if they come part way, but not all the way. And it's okay if they come and join you for now. And then they need to go right back out as soon as we're done tapping. We're just asking them to be present right now, if possible, if it's comfortable, if it feels safe, then just invite those pieces to come back just along that string. See them, that energy just coming back towards you and coming back and settling back into your body, and feel it settling into your heart cavity, into the rest of your torso. Feel the energy coming back, settling into your arms and into your legs. And feel the energy settling back into your neck and into your head. And allow that to continue to come back at whatever trickle it needs to come in as we go throughout this session. Just leave an open invitation that as the parts of you that are outwardly focused, to have that invitation to continue to come inwardly focused and be present and grounded in this moment. And just check in, see what your number is now. Mine was pretty successful. I would say I'm about 83% present right now. I don't know why 3. I just got that number on me today. But that feels good. I do feel a lot more present, and I feel the energy. I feel more grounded within my body. I feel like I can feel more space in my body now. So hopefully you're having the same experience. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check the chat and see if we've got any suggestions. If not yet, don't worry. They'll come in as you feel comfortable putting them in. And if nobody does, as always, I've got plenty of topics that I can suggest for us to tap on. Sarah Lena, hello. Oh, love and light back to you. You're a big jazz fan yourself, Dr. Scott. That's awesome. And Carol, I'm closing up my house in Trinidad for 6 months and heading to the USA. Wow, okay. Mine is running on all sorts of things that need to be done. Absolutely. And if some of that needs to stay running, give it permission to, because that will help you relax as well. Permission to be where we are is the number one step of EFT. So absolutely allowing that even before we begin is only going to help you reach further in your session. Tap on loneliness. Okay, I hear you, Barry. Thank you. Mama Hutch, I have ongoing pain due to injury, so I am making more mistakes. Gotcha. Deposited a check twice incorrectly. Moving forward, 5 months of healing. Just so glad to be with you. And you love jazz too. Oh, maybe we'll have like a jazz day. I hear you on that. Yeah, pain recovery, it takes up so much of your cognitive function to just try and think through that. I have that frustration as well. Jane, I'm at 90%. Yay! Which is possible today because I've done all the running around for the day. Nothing else has to happen for 3 hours. Ooh, nice. Good job. And Ashley, oh, my father and my favorite coach passed away this month. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, Ashley, and I'm sending you love for that and your process of grief as you go through adjusting with that shift. I know if with sharing that you're wanting to tap on grief or a permission of some kind, a lot of times moving forward feels wrong. So let me know if there is something in that specifically that you would like to tap on, and thank you for sharing. That's something that I know it hasn't popped up yet today, but there's a lot in the community that feels that and for that reason. So you're definitely not alone, and we're glad that you're here. And Lauren, yes, ongoing grief. Alrighty, so loneliness, ongoing pain, which is causing cognitive difficulties. Okay, and Christina, tapping on, it is okay to be in our bodies. It's okay to trust our bodies to heal. Yeah, and that's a complicated relationship. So I appreciate you bringing that up. I really have an approach that I hope you find successful on that. But I would love to give that to you today. I am going to start, let's see. I'm going to use the word pain, but Barry, I want you to attach this to the pain of loneliness. And if pain does not fit for you as that word, then to sub it out. And while I say pain, you can change it to the ache of loneliness, the hollowness of loneliness. Find a descriptive word that works for you if pain is not it. For everyone else, whatever type of pain it is that you're addressing, it can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be mental pain. It could be something that's a growing pain, something that is, I'm so distracted by that hair hanging out. Now I can let it go. Something that is a result of something positive moving forward, like you're just learning a new job, or you've progressed into a new higher form of a class, or something like in martial arts. Now you went from a green belt to a blue belt. I'm not suggesting anything direct with that. Obviously, don't know what color of belts go in what order, but a welcomed struggle, but still creating some sort of pain, right? Because it's valid to tap on that, even if it's something that you're celebrating. Anything that's considered overwhelm is great for EFT. So I'll give you a second to get that in your mind, focusing on one thing, narrow it down to one thing where you feel comfortable saying pain or another descriptive term such as that. Let's go ahead and start tapping. As I consider this aspect of pain that's currently in my life, I deeply and completely accept myself. As I consider this aspect of pain that's really in my way right now, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. As I consider this aspect of pain that I would really like to go away, but it hasn't yet, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. This pain, in my life, this pain in my way, this overwhelming pain, this negative experience of pain, the complications from this pain, even though I could go on for forever about all of the angst that this pain is causing in my life, I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that this is where I am, even if it's not where I want to be, even if I'm actively looking for things to be different, even if I have a lot of negative emotions as I consider this pain, I still choose to acknowledge that it's where I am. And I fully accept myself and where I am, with all of my feelings, with all of my actions, whether my actions are inaction, incorrect action, reaction. I choose right now to completely accept myself, to offer myself compassion, to offer myself understanding, to offer myself a safe and soft place to exist, even if my existence right now is troubled, is angry, is scary, or another emotion or emotions. I give myself permission to have support from me, even though right now I'm not perfect. Even though right now things are not perfect. Even though right now I am not producing a perfect output. Even with me not producing perfection because of this pain in my life, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, we're going to challenge this a little bit. So trust me, we're going to go with some weird wording here. No, I can't trust myself. I can't accept myself. I can't love myself. And that's just not possible. It's not possible for anybody ever. I mean, you have to be perfect or you deserve rejection. That's just the way that it is. It's the law of eternal energy. It's the way the planet operates. It's the way people operate always. It's never any different than that. Either you're perfect or you're punished. I don't think I actually believe that, at least not for everything. So I wonder if it's not a real principle for everything. Maybe I don't have to apply it to myself either. Oh, I do have to apply it to myself. I know it. If I'm not perfect, I get punished. I wonder, where did I learn that I have to be perfect or I'm punished? That if I'm in pain, if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm stressed, or even if I'm just trying really hard, I will still be punished for it if I'm not perfect. Who taught me that? Even though it's very possible that I am operating under the perception that I don't deserve support, even if I'm trying my hardest, I'm in pain, I'm having a hard time. I choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. I may know where I learned this concept. I may not be very sure. But whether or not I know where this came from, I give myself permission to choose different right now. Right now, I give myself permission to choose compassion, to choose support, to choose kindness for myself. And it may be weird. It may feel really different because I've never done it before. And it's okay if I don't even know how to start. I'm not looking for those answers. Right now, I'm just giving myself permission to try, permission to do, permission for kindness, permission for compassion, permission for support, support through my pain, support through my struggle, my support for myself. I wonder, what's a small way that I could do that right now? Does it feel safe for me to say, I'm proud of you, self. I'm proud of you for what you're doing, for how you're trying, for what you've accomplished. I'm proud of you for sticking through this. I'm proud of you for doing your best and not giving up. Does it feel safe for me to say, what could I do in the next 2 hours that would be just a little kind gesture for myself? Would it be changing into more comfortable clothes? Would it be giving myself a different temperature, like getting a blanket or turning the fan on? Maybe getting a glass of water that I've been thirsty for a while. Maybe it's taking a moment to relax and just check out and stop thinking so hard for a minute. Whatever small act of kindness that I can think of that feels safe and exciting to offer to myself, I trust that it will come to me. And when it comes to me, I give myself permission to engage it. And as I continue to offer myself small positive thoughts and small acts of kindness that have no bearing on whether or not I actually accomplish all that I'm after, I allow myself to ground these efforts onward. Because isn't it true that I have a better chance of succeeding if I nurture myself along the way? And isn't it true that it takes almost no time and almost no effort to incorporate these small little bits of nurturing? Nurturing myself. Nurturing myself bit by bit. This pain in my life, permission to nurture. And as I move forward in this new perspective, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, pause on tapping, take a breath. I'll check back in on whatever it was that you tapped on and see how it feels now versus a few minutes ago. And if during that tapping you found yourself sighing, yawning, crying, giggling, any kind of release in your body, muscle tension release, or if now you feel yourself feeling more positive, more excited, more powerful, then those are really good signs that you reached a connection point in your subconscious brain where it said, okay, I can agree to these changes. And now it's going to perpetuate that for you without any more effort. How wonderful is that? So awesome job. All right, I'm going to turn my car on for a little bit of air because I am getting so sweaty and it's a clutch. So this is going to be awkward. Okay. Make sure I don't kill it. All right. All right. So let me know if the air conditioning on just sounds awful and blasting to you. I can leave it on for as short as possible. I'm just melting. Okay. Let me revisit the chat. Okay, chronic grief and procrastination is used to move forward. Oh, thank you, Christina. I'm glad that you're here. And you're very welcome. I'm showing myself every day. Yay! Good, good, good. Oh, Paula, I'm happy that you didn't miss it too. I'm glad that you're here. Uh-oh. You can't even hear it. Okay, hopefully you don't mean me. So I said uh-oh about, hopefully mean you can't even hear the pain, which is phenomenal. Like, that's amazing if that's where you reached. Okay, yay. Oh, yay. Barry, I'm so glad. Yay, yay. So much. Yay. Okay, good, good. Okay, you can hear me fine. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to scroll back up and we're going to move forward with the next tap. Ongoing grief and trusting our bodies. Okay. Let's do, I know we just did pain, but I do want to be specific on grief. And then we'll go into trusting bodies. So in tapping on grief, I love tapping on grief. And there's multiple reasons why. One, we're not really taught in at least Western United States society. I'm definitely generally speaking for everybody. So my apologies if it doesn't fit for you. We're not really taught how to process grief, right? So it kind of gets stuck after the initial, like everybody expresses, sympathy for you, but then what? And we also don't have a very broad definition of what grief is. Pretty much it's when you lose something and you're sad about it, that's grief. And that's not true. That's not all of what grief is. Grief is a process of pretty much anything you can come up with in life. I can point out where there's been a bit of a process of what you could label as grief in it. So when we say grief, it could be something that you've lost, something that you're accepting that's kind of passed you by. It could be something of a realization of you've been looking for validation in a certain way. You get that validation, and now you take that lens and you put it backwards and go, oh my gosh, so all of that time I felt like I should have been validated. I was right. And now you have to grieve that you weren't validated in the way that now you know you should have been. Anytime there is a perspective change, there is something that gets to be processed from that shift. So from the old perspective to the new perspective. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't even have to feel hard or negative necessarily, but something that's holding on that isn't a part of the new shift is like the most basic definition I can give of grief. So with that, have in mind something that fits that definition of grieving for you. Something that feels like, well, this doesn't really fit with where I am anymore, but it's still here. And I would like to release that or integrate it into where I am now. So I know there was a lot of words, so I'll give you a second to think about that. Something that you would like to integrate and feel is a part of where you are now that isn't there yet. Okay. Give you just another moment. Let's go ahead and start tapping. As I consider where I am currently in my life, and I consider this aspect of me that I would like to integrate into where I am now. Even though this part of me is not currently integrated, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now there's this part of me that is expressing grief, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyways. Even though right now there's a part of me that I would really like to feel more present that isn't currently, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. I accept and acknowledge this grief that I feel currently in my life. It's okay that it's here. It's okay that I have emotions attached to it. It's okay that it's as big or as small as it is. It's okay if it's confusing. It's okay if it's comforting. It's okay if I feel like it's right for me to have this grief right now. In whatever way that I am currently translating this grief, I deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that I've gone through this experience. And I accept that it's taken me to where I am now. I wonder if I could shift this grief. In what way could I shift it that would feel better? not to get rid of the grief because it's wrong, not to get rid of the grief so that I can move on. I can move on with this grief. I already have shown that. So it's okay to release that as my expectation. But what if I have the expectation and the invitation, the curiosity of how could I shift this grief to where it would feel better? I wonder. Better in what way? Better how? As I consider how I could define better between me and this grief, I deeply and completely accept myself. As I consider this, am I trying to come up with a full solution? Am I thinking about it from the standpoint of how I want it to be at the very end? Probably. And maybe that's working for me and it's fine. But maybe it feels too soon or too big, too confusing, too unsure, and it doesn't feel like it's going to assist me in this process. I wonder, how could I create a first smaller step to reach a better place with this grief? To offer the energy and the emotion that I feel as grief a happier, softer, more lovely place to exist. Because isn't it true that the reason that it still exists is because it's important to me? Whether it's important in a way of it's something that I love, or it's something that I hate, or somewhere in between, it's significant. So how can I honor this significance in a present way that allows me to release the negative emotions attached to it? Shifting this grief. Permission to allow this grief to transform into a supportive energy. Supportive for its importance. As I consider this, I may have many ideas. Maybe I have no idea and I am not sure whether or not I have a lot of ideas or I have no ideas. I give myself permission to explore and even be surprised. Maybe I don't even have to think about it. Maybe it'll just pop into my mind and resolve itself all on its own. I definitely give it permission to do all the work for me and me not have to figure it out. I wonder if I were to create a safe place for this grief, what is one word that I could offer it to integrate with? If I was speaking to this grief and I said, grief, I would love for you to explore what your definition of peace is, what your definition of calm is, what your definition of justice, of boundaries, whatever word feels powerful or happy or calming and creates a more positive outcome, even though I've done nothing but think of a word. I give myself permission to receive that word. This grief, my new word. This grief, my new place. And as I accept this word, I allow myself to feel if it feels better. And if it does, I give myself permission to find more words. And if it doesn't, I give myself permission to find different words until it does feel better. I give myself permission to learn something new. Even if I'm figuring it out right now, even if I'm figuring it out on my own, I can do this. And I can teach my grief how to shift. Because I do want to integrate this part of me. And I do want this part of me to be honored in the way that it deserves to be. And I give myself permission to do this in this really simple way. And as I allow myself this first step in integrating my grief, I deeply and completely accept myself. Keep tapping. We're just going to let this continue to shift. Just continue to ponder maybe your new word. Feel that new word soaking into your body. Maybe feel that word wrapping around your grief, flowing through the grief energy. If there are visuals, if there are sensations, allow those to happen. Okay, go ahead and pause. Take a breath. Just take a moment and softly, very softly, think back to how you felt about this grief before you tapped on it and compare it to how you feel now. And again, any of the signs of releasing that you may have experienced, deep breathing, sighing, crying, giggling, relaxing, feeling sleepy, even kind of checking out, all of those are positive signs. And any positivity that you're feeling now, if the grief feels less, if it feels more positive, if it feels better in your body, then those are all signs of your subconscious brain saying, I hear you, I agree with you, let's do this. So congratulations. Alrighty, we are so good on time. I'm excited to do permission in the body. I'm just going to check the chat real fast. So relaxed, I can barely type. I love it. Oh, that makes me happy. Recently learned that it's healthy to grieve every loss, no matter how small. Yes. Is there such as grieving your health? Absolutely, there is. So a couple of things, I'll just give this to you real fast. In grieving health, grieving your own expectations of health, the expectations that were placed upon you on what health was, incorrect expectations that didn't help you, that you did put energy towards, ended up being like wasted effort. Any sort amount of over expectation, like a perfection, any amount of grieving of, if I were healthy, if my body were this, then I would receive that. So making it like your gatekeeper for acceptance or love or permission to be you. And even just giving yourself permission to be flawed in your own search for what is health. I tried this and it didn't work. I tried that and it didn't work. I don't know what else to try next. And giving yourself permission for that to be okay. Even if you're frustrated, for that to still be okay. Basically just allowing you to have your own back as you go through this. And that's something it's so charged, so I hope that those can be beginning points for you to be able to tap on that. Hey, Zahara. I'm doing okay. I've got a lot of braces on today. I've been moving heavy boxes and really being unkind to my joints. So that's why I've got like this, keeps me from looking down too far. But I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Mama Hutch, every loss gets stirred up each time we have together. Tapping has helped. Sometimes I look at pictures while I tap. That's a great thing to do. Thank you for sharing that. It has helped. Good. I'm so glad. The small shifts are a big deal. It allows me to breathe. Yes. And that little bits of progress add up so fast. And it's doable, it allows you to not be overwhelmed as you try, or as you do release. You feel more conscious. Good. Falling asleep can be a source of motivation. Absolutely. About a health matter. So helpful. Good. So much. 18 months. You're very welcome, Terry. Okay, yay, and the wording, yay, okay, perfect. Alrighty, let's hop into, I'm just gonna scroll back up and look at the exact wording. I'm so used to doing this because that's my own way of like, I touch my face a lot and it's because I'm trying to support my neck. But now I have this to help me with that. This is trusting the body. I'm just still looking for the exact wording. Okay, to trust. Okay, so healing could be anything. Look at healing as trusting my body to maintain, trusting my body to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like better. But from a place of like, it's not at a deficit, we're just looking at making it better and better. Trusting my body to get faster, trusting my brain to function, even though I'm getting older, even though I'm, any of that, any and all of that that's body related, that you would like to be better than it is now. Whether it's you're starting at a negative point or you're like, no, this is great. I'm already seeing progress, but I'm starting to question how much progress can I really get? That's even a point that you could go from. So when tapping on the body, that can include any kind of physical function, any type of mental process that you rely on physical organs and systems to help create. Spiritually, if that's a place that you're wanting to tap from, our body is the house for that, right? And they're not 100%, I don't want to say 100% integrated, but there are things that like the body does that like the mind and the spirit are like, what is that? Like, why am I hiccuping right now? I didn't know I was getting sick. There are things that the body is aware of that kind of layer in after. So even tapping on an integration or a trust in spirit and body. And definitely if you were wanting to tap on something that was traumatic. From any point of view, I'm not going to call out any specific traumas because I don't want to trigger with any words. But if you're wanting to feel more safe in your body after experiencing a trauma, this is going to be a really gentle, soft tap for that. So it's not going to be 100%. It's not like at the end of this, I anticipate you going, oh my gosh, it's gone. But what I do have a goal in is you going, I feel like that's a plausible place that I can tap on again and get further. Okay, so that's our goal with this. Alrighty. Again, that was a lot of words, but so pain in some form that you're wanting to learn to trust the body to be present. Okay. Go ahead and start tapping. As I consider my experiences in this body, I can recall so many things that are positive and negative. But as I tap right now, I choose to narrow my focus down to this one area, this one subject where I don't feel safe to trust my body. I don't feel safe to be present in my body. As I focus on this subject where I don't feel safe with my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. And it's possible, as I focus in on this subject, it's too much to think about. I immediately want to back away, run away. It's just, It's just, Even if, as I focus on this subject, I get a, I choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. It's okay that this is overwhelming. It's okay if it's too much, if it's too big, and I can't directly focus on it. So I won't. I won't. I will honor myself and listen to myself right now. Because I choose to heal in a way that feels good to me as I heal, rather than try to force myself into something with a hope that it will be worth it on the end. I choose to empower myself right now for healing to feel good through the whole process. Even if I'm releasing big emotions, even if it feels scary or angry or hard, that it still also feels good and also feels safe and also feels empowering. Because I already had experiences where I did not feel safe, where I did not feel empowered, where I did not get to choose. And I refuse to perpetuate that for myself right now. I am drawing a firm line that anything from myself, as I engage any type of healing, feels safe. And if it does not feel safe, I don't do it. Even if the person trying to help me feels safe, even if I really, really want to go off their word, even if I really, really want it to work for me, I will only engage it when it feels safe. Because I choose to trust that there is a safe way, that there is a way for it to feel safe and work. And I just need to find it. So as I accept this as my rule, I deeply and completely accept myself. I love that I have this rule. I deserve this rule. I deserve to be protected. I deserve to feel safe. And even if there's a part of me that struggles with the word deserve, and I hear a part of me say, but you don't deserve things, I still choose to accept that I deserve this, even if it's uncomfortable, even if part of me is arguing it. Maybe it feels like I'm breaking a rule, but isn't that a rule that I should see if I can break? It is okay for me to explore safety in my body. It is okay for me to explore gentleness in my healing. It is okay for me to explore what trusting myself feels like. And it's possible that why I don't trust myself right now is because I betrayed myself in some way, or I feel that I betrayed myself. And even if it is absolutely true that I in the past have betrayed myself, I choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that I did the best that I could. I accept that I made a choice. I made the best choice that I knew how at the time. And it's okay if now, in hindsight, I can see different choices, or maybe there weren't other choices. And maybe I judged myself hard, and I've been holding that. And I can see now, logically, how that's not fair. It's unfair for me to have judged myself in that way. I forgive myself. I choose right now to forgive myself for anything that could have gone differently, because I did the best I knew how at the time. And I allow myself to receive that. And I offer myself compassion for all of the pain, for all of the weight that I have carried since the subject. And I give myself permission to release that weight without any further explanation, without any further releasing or talking or therapy. Whatever I can just let go of, it's gone. I release. Release. But what do I do now? Where do I go from here? Even if right now I'm not entirely certain, I choose to trust that I can find trust. I choose to trust that I can find safety in my present moment and in my present body. I wonder, what is a small token of expression that I could give to myself right now? Just as an example, just as a little bit of grounding that I want to trust, that I want to feel safe. What is something that I could give to me? Is it a word? Is it a color? Is it an object? Is it a boundary? Maybe I give myself a box that I put something into, maybe even myself. Or I give myself a fortress or a force field. I give myself a weapon or some kind of magic relic. It's okay if it's fun. It can be fun and meaningful. But I offer to myself whatever allows me to feel hope and to feel the beginning of a safe connection with my body. Safe connection. My body. And as I work on figuring this out, I allow myself to try. I allow myself to be curious. because it's new and I'm learning. And I give myself permission to trust my instincts. And I give myself permission to just spend time with myself and allow that to be my playground. And as I visit my playground and spend time with myself, I trust that I can continue to find little bits of trust and little bits of safety that I have the ability to reach for now because I've made it to where I currently am. And as I lean into these things, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, take a deep breath. Sweating all over the place. That one went pretty deep. So check in, and again, gently check in. How did you feel about being safe in your body before that and trusting your body before that to how it feels now? And if it's feeling more positive, more exciting, more possible, you've got ideas for it, it feels more logical, and of course, and maybe a new perspective and thought. Those are all signs that you reached a point of agreement with your subconscious, and it's saying, oh yeah, no, this makes sense. And yeah, let's further support this. So congratulations and good job. Thank you so much for being here with me this week. I actually really needed today. So not that I don't always, but I really needed it today. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community and showing up and participating, even if you don't put anything in the chat, even if you're watching this after the recording, you matter. And I treasure you. And I hope that you have a phenomenal week. And I hope I get to see you next week. I'll be thinking about you and sending you love. Mwah. I got to run to my appointment. I'll see you soon. Bye.